Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. My name is Brandon Kitchings. I'm the Vice President of Family First Life Marathon Agency, and today we have a great group of guys that we're gonna be speaking with today. A couple of my agents here. The title of our podcast today is "Different Backgrounds, Same Success," and we're gonna be speaking with a couple guys here. First, to my left, we have Haley Tarmy, and we also have Robert Terrell.
Yeah.
And then also Mr. Arthur Forrest. All right. So first of all, guys, thank y'all, for taking the time today to give back on the podcast today, and we're going to kind of jump into some things today. And if the title, states different backgrounds, same success. What I really love about each one of y'all is you all came from different backgrounds. But you're having very similar success at this time. So we want to share that with the rest of the company at this time and everyone else out there in social media world. So, Haley, I know you came from, with your background, you were a school teacher prior, preschool, is that correct?
Yep.
And you've decided to come here to Family First Life. Robert, I know you come from the military, with the military background, and then Arthur, Division One sports, basketball to be exact. So, uh, football, my bad, brother. I love basketball so much, so I'm always trying to get everybody to play basketball. All right, but definitely, with that, let's kind of jump in because, like I said, with the different backgrounds that you have, you've all came here and had very similar success. So starting with you, Haley, coming over from, being a teacher, also, you're a new mom as well.
Yep.
What if you, to be able to speak with new agents or people that's maybe looking at this opportunity at this time with what we have here at Family First Life, what would you share, with anyone that's looking at this opportunity that may be, coming from a teacher's background, and what made you decide to choose Family First Life and what it has done for you since you've been here?
Yeah, there's so much that Family First Life has done for me. I mean, I came from teaching. I have only lived in Arizona for about 2 years, but I came here. I took a really big pay cut moving from Massachusetts to Arizona as a teacher. And I was working a lot of hours, not making great money. And when I found out that I was pregnant, I knew I needed a change of pace and decided to come over here. I was introduced by my mother in law, who you met, and she set me up here. And it was just a total game changer in my world. I'm working like a little bit more than part time, but not quite full time, and able to provide for my family better than I ever had, and more income than I've ever seen before.
Okay.
Working less hours. I mean, like we say, the work isn't easy, but it's definitely simple. I mean, it's just the same three steps: buy leads, call them, run the appointment. That's
Yeah.
it.
No, I mean absolutely, and it works for everyone, anyone. So, for you, like I said, so you came from being a teacher, so I would think income. Unfortunately, we know that all teachers are underpaid, right? But so what has this opportunity done for your family financially? Although I know you're out helping a lot of families, each and every week, but what has it done for your family financially, and how did it change that dynamic for you?
Yeah, it went from my boyfriend being the main breadwinner in the household to me actually being the breadwinner, which is an amazing feeling because that is pretty rare. I feel like a lot of times it's not the female, but it's a good feeling, and he's happy. He makes a really great income, but it's nice that that burden doesn't fall on him solely. And we were able to buy our first home this past year.
Wow.
And had our first child, our daughter Juliet, and it's been just really amazing where I'm able to be home half the time with my daughter, and then I'm able to work half the time out helping families and still making a really great living.
Wow. And just kind of piggybacking off of what you said, the biggest thing is, now being able to spend time with your daughter.
Yeah.
In your previous background, your previous job, that would have not have been an option, right?
No, not at all. It would have been 5 day a week childcare, and now it's nice because I only work about 3 days a week in the field, maybe sometimes four, but that's pretty rare. And the most important thing to me is spending time with her, and I don't know any other job where you can make the money that we do, helping people, feeling good about what you're doing, and being able to be home 3 or 4 days a week with your kids.
Yeah. And if we compare like the two, what you did before with teaching kids, and now kind of teaching adults about life insurance.
Yeah.
How does those two things kind of go hand in hand?
Well, it's definitely easier to educate people when I have that background. And I feel like with life insurance, too, you kind of have to talk to these people like they are kids just because they don't know anything about life insurance. A lot of people are undereducated on the topic, and just being able to go in and let everybody know why it's so important and having that background as a teacher has definitely helped, because just having that prior knowledge on how to speak to people and certain terms that you use to kind of make them feel like they're in control while I'm actually still in control of the situation. It's definitely helpful.
Okay, all right. And if I would ask, if there's other teachers out there that's looking at this opportunity that may have seen a couple of videos about Family First Life, and they may be contemplating, jumping on this opportunity, what type of advice or what would you say to them at this time?
Well, if you are a teacher out there, this is definitely the best opportunity, especially if you have kids. I mean, I know even as a side hustle, there's a lot of teachers out there that might want to just work a couple days a week, either in the evening or weekends, that this can really just be a game changer. I mean, I know that it's not all about the money, but it is about helping people, and we do that too, where one thing I struggled with was that I loved teaching because I loved being able to make a difference with kids, like kind of just forming them as tiny humans into the people that they'll be when they're older. And I can still feel really good about this job because we are helping people, and it's extremely important to have life insurance. And I didn't know the value of it until I came here. And I can still feel just as good about this job as I did teaching, and even better sometimes because it's really just leaving that generational wealth behind for lots of people and families to come. And it's just, I mean, there's really no reason to not do it.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, since you kind of did talk about that a little bit as well, but in your experience, how many times do you actually sit with clients that may already have something, but they're not fully educated on what they have, so you do find yourself teaching them at that time?
At least a few times a week, I see people that have coverage that either has the increasing premiums, or they're underinsured, or they have a expiring policy that they thought was whole life. I mean, there's a lot of times where you have to go in and be like, this is not ideal for your situation.
And then once you teach them up, educate them, then they're able to make a better decision typically. Is that right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. Now, thank you for that, Haley.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to you as well. Rob, so for you, military background.
Hoorah.
Yes, sir. So, so let us know, what was the deciding factor? So, because I know you're former Air Force, and you're very tactical about things. You're very analytical about things as well. So for you, I know coming on board, you took a little time to really look at this opportunity before
absolutely.
joining. So with that and your military background and everything, what were the deciding factors, that made you, choose this opportunity?
I think some of the deciding factors, I was out of the military, went into the corporate world for a little bit, but I found being in the military as well as in the corporate world, I was away from my family constantly, a lot. Even when I left the military, my last job, probably be on the road. I was a regional manager on the road probably 3 weeks out of the month. So this gave, even though there's a lot of work to it, gave me a lot of flexibility, time with my family, and replacement of the income that I was making and a little more. So, and it's a great opportunity that it's boundless, endless opportunities.
Okay.
But I think the biggest factor though was that, as well as being able to help people.
Okay.
Being in the military, and even as a first sergeant, sergeant actually means to serve. And it's not about barking orders and running around telling people what to do. It's serving. You serve and help develop those up under you, and you serve the community. So this was a way that I think I found purpose in what I was doing, and it just helped me find purpose again in what I'm doing. That kind of wakes me up in the morning. Gets me going.
Hey, I mean that's good. So, good stuff. Are there any similarities here with Family First Life, like say to the military and things that you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What would those things?
Yeah,
be?
some of the things I like also is the structure. There's a blueprint to win. As long as you are able to follow direction, you're trainable, you're coachable, willing to develop, develop those that you bring on board and work with them and help coach them. It's all rewarding, and it's it's a blueprint that you can't lose if you just follow what you're supposed to do. Yeah. So the structure, love the structure about it, and just the fact of helping developing yourself, stretching yourself. That requires challenges and sacrifice with that as well.
Okay, all right. I mean that's great. Also, if there's any other people out there that's looking, from the military with the background of as yours, and they may be looking at Family First Life as an opportunity. I mean, what would you tell them? What would you say to them? To help them maybe make that decision that this is the right place for them.
I think it would be a great move for them, especially if you're accustomed to leading teams. You're accustomed to the challenges and meeting your goals and objectives, regardless of what roadblocks come ahead. You're in a structured environment with a lot of very talented and smart people that you're able to lean upon. So I would just jump and move. I looked at it for a while. I wish I moved earlier, honestly, because I was a little skeptical, but it's the truth.
Yeah,
it's real.
And it's funny that you say that because that's typically 99% of people here, agents here at Family First Life. If you ask them what's their biggest regret, right, it's either waiting too long to take this opportunity, to start with this opportunity, or waiting too long to grow their agency, right? But you're saying if you had a chance to do it all over again.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, there's nothing to lose. Yeah. That's the funny part is, even if you want to get a license and do it part-time, there's nothing to lose. There's no cost of joining, no association fees, no training fees. You have nothing to lose. Go get your license and try it out.
No, I mean that's real.
Nothing to lose, everything to gain.
And in terms of help, would you say? Because I know with the military, you get a lot of help there.
You get a lot of support here. Yeah. Very big support system, absolutely. I came on under you and a lot of support from you as well as Stevie and all the others, even the people that I work with, Haley and Art. I call on people for different reasons. And, everybody has their strong suits, just like in the military in a group. It's very diverse, and we pull on those strong suits, to help each other and pull each other up.
Yeah. That's huge, man. Thank you for sharing that with us, and we'll come back to you in a moment as well. Arthur Forrest, my guy.
My man.
So, Division I football.
Yes, sir.
Not basketball. You should have played basketball.
That was high school, bro.
But Division I football. So, so you come from almost like Robert, very structured environment. When it comes to collegiate sports. So. What similarities did you see here with Family First Life that that you kind of saw with Division I sports?
Most definitely was several things, a plethora of things I can go. But I know since we're limited, top two things that come to mind is that we're system driven. In football, you always have to do your 1/11th. You always have your coaches that don't worry about what the other person's doing. Just make sure that you're doing what you need to do.
Correct.
So assumptively, I would say that would be the number one thing. Number two is the drive. Waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning for weights and going through full practice, still have 4 or 5 classes that I practice and then another class. So I'm working those 12-hour shifts. That did transition into life. As far as football, you just, it's team-oriented. You got to do what you need to do in order to get the job done. So if I was able to put it into one-on-one, it's just more so sticking to yourself until you accomplish your goal.
That's huge. So with that, what would you say was your biggest reason for joining Family First when you first saw it?
Yeah, most definitely. So my journey is a little bit different. Once I got out of college, I went for business management. So when I got out, this is the first thing I do. What can I do to make 6 figures? Everybody sells cars. Let's go ahead and sell some cars. I got enough mini deals in a month to realize that wasn't the path that I needed to go. So I started studying for my real estate license.
Okay.
I got my license a couple months later. And through conversation, real estate went really well. However, it's a 7-day-a-week grind. 70 hours is not a word. It's every day, all day. So if you're not selling something, you're door knocking, prospecting. You're not prospecting, there's open houses. So Stephen Yee, great friend. I've known him, Joe Miller, Trey Honeycutt for over a decade from multi-level marketing. We used to work together. But Stephen saw, he said it was a great compliment for once you have a client to sell their house with the mortgage protection. You know, that was something that I was at that time ignorant to.
Okay.
So he was able to show me, you know, how this could be a good compliment to my client, something that you can do on a part-time basis. And what brought me over here, I actually came out to Vegas and saw a small convention. This is back in 2018. It's less than 30 people there. And there was a presenter that was talking, and he said, you know what, I lost what I was talking about. Just raise your hand if you made over $20,000 last month. It's 35 people. So when I looked around, turned around, it's like 15 hands. If almost 50% of the whole group made 20K, what am I doing? So 8 days later, I make sure I passed that test. So, I mean, everything just came into it. It's not because I was looking for something new. It was just God sent. It was blessings. Me and Stephen go back for a long time. So this is before, the integrity deals. It was, the whole system was to get 20 appointments at most. But now that's a joke, so it's a blessing, though. Definitely a blessing.
Yeah, you're right. Because I even remember when I started, a year and a half ago, a little bit, almost 2 years ago. It was 20 appointments, 20,000 a month. Was the thing, was the goal, and now it's 30 appointments and 40,000 a month.
Right.
Because so many people are doing it at a high level, which definitely really makes this opportunity even more attractive. Let's talk about what you're currently doing now, because I think it really does kind of tie into your background, where you came from. You come from a team-oriented environment, when dealing with sports, and so now I think you're starting to take it to the next level and building your team.
Correct.
So let's talk about that. The whole reason to build the team. What sparked that for you?
Okay. I'll just be honest. In 2019, my house burnt down in a brush fire. I live in Chino Hills. Is the only house that actually burnt down. So highly underinsured. Didn't have the money to go get the home fixed. So with that stress, it led to my dad having health issues. Heart attack in November. A couple months later, he had a series of 6 different strokes last year. So unfortunately, as the man, the only matriarch of the family, I had to do what I had to do. What's so great about this company, about this business, is that situations are all going to be done, but this too shall pass. So it doesn't matter where you're in life, what situation that you're in right now, as long as you stay committed to yourself, you can obtain your dream. So, getting emotional, sorry. Yeah, of course, being a high producer, that's always going to be the main goal. But at the end of the day, I had to be able to protect my family. If my father's not able to work and there's no money to be coming in, so I had to do what I had to do. If I can't get on the floor, how can I provide? The next step was by building a team. Wish I would have done this a couple years ago. I wish I would have done it a couple years ago.
Wish you'd have did it.
But, man, it's such a blessing. I mean, the company itself and being able to meet somebody on a Monday, get them approved that night, you get paid that Wednesday morning, go ahead and do what you need to do with it, that's unheard of.
Right.
But to have passive and residual income coming from a mindset where you make $60,000, $70,000 a year, and that's your set, or you can do that in 6 months by your team. And this is short shooting it. There's certain people, Dave Witchard, he did it in 13 months, over $1 million on monthly business. So what I say, if you have the opportunity, if you can't if you can't work, build.
Correct.
If you can't build, you can't work, do both.
Right.
You can't do one or the other. So by building the team, I see the big picture. A few years from now, I'll guarantee, if not a couple years from now, I will be an integrity partner. And go ahead and remember that. I will be an integrity partner. And what's just a blessing is that now, since I started building the team this past few months, we've been getting a paycheck every single day, which is something that I never noticed it was possible.
Which is huge. And I think you've actually went into pretty quote unquote all out build mode probably about 3 months ago.
Yes, sir.
And now, and we always talk about the building aspect, that it's not a immediate gratification, like the sale, right?
Right.
You go,
Planting
you
seeds.
go help protect the family today. They get approved. You get paid in 2 days, 48 hours, right? But but with the growing of the team, it's more of a 30, 60, 90 day
Correct.
turnaround, right? And so now we're at that point, in your business where you started this about 3-4 months ago,
Correct.
and now we're starting to see the fruits of the labor.
100%.
And if you don't mind asking, how many people have you hired, whether licensed or unlicensed, in the last 60 days?
60 days?
Yeah,
That's a good question. In the past 60 days, I would say close to 200.
yeah.
Close to 200.
I mean, I know I see it coming through my phone every day, right?
Yes, sir.
And again, just I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this opportunity, because since you couldn't write, you're able to then focus, your efforts elsewhere,
100%.
which is still you're putting you in a position to be able to provide for your family, right?
Right.
And then also help other agents go out and provide for their family. So definitely, so let's talk about the fact that you waited. So
Throw me under the bus. No.
to the new agents out there, what would you say to them about building the team? Should they wait, or should it be something that they do right away if that's something that they want to do?
I'm gonna stop looking at you and look at the camera.
That's fine.
Start yesterday. Start yesterday. Reason why I say that is if you don't, you might never. My mom always told me when I was a young child, never put off what you can do today. Do tomorrow today,
Yeah.
I'm
Yep. I know the same.
still emotional from talking about Pops. I haven't
Yeah.
told anybody that personally, but
Thank you for sharing that.
I
Thank you for
appreciate
sharing
it.
that, man.
Everybody goes through situations in life. So that's the reason why I like about this company. I'm still able to build this from home. It's not, a lot of people think like, okay, let me just start recruiting and be done. It's still a full-time job now.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm probably on the phone more than majority of the people.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that it's not about you anymore. It's about obtaining other people's jobs, other dreams turn into realities.
Yep.
That's how I see it as. I had somebody gave me a call just a couple of days ago saying that they weren't able to pay for their mortgage. Lost. Don't know what I'm going to do. And then got $5,000 the next day. You know how that changes somebody's perspective in life?
Yeah.
Have somebody say that they're a few months down on their truck and then get paid the next week and able to pay 2-3 months off, and then I'm only 1 month away from it free and clear. It's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
I honestly, I never personally told Andrew and Sean, but I pray for them personally. I thank them every single day for the opportunity that we all have. And for anybody that's seeing this for the first time, take advantage. Take advantage.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, man. Like I said, it's just things. That's what's so beautiful about Family First Life. We just keep it 100.
Right.
Right. We go out and we produce, and we help other people produce, and we help families, and then we just come back and tell you exactly what we did. Right.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
We're not keeping no secrets or nothing like that, because at the end of the day, we're all on on the same team, right? Sean Mike's team, right? So, man, but thank you for that. So, before we cut it, what I would maybe like to do at this time is let's start from Haley again. If there was one thing that you would have done, any regrets? If there was one thing that you maybe would have done differently that could possibly help a new agent or someone that's looking at this opportunity avoid that landmine, what would that maybe be?
I think it would be make sure that your first lead investment is solid, because I made the mistake of just buying 20 leads expecting to make a turnaround, and I didn't, and then I got discouraged, but I stuck with it. And one thing is, it's going to be hard. It's not easy in the beginning. It's such a learning curve, and it's different from probably most people don't come from an insurance background. And it's different, and it's kind of scary getting on the phone, talking to people, dealing with rejection. But there's a lot of people that accept it and want you to come to their house, and you need to focus on that and not get in your own head about it.
Yep.
And make a promise to yourself that you're not going to give up and that you're going to keep going, because if I quit after that first $20 or 20 leads, I would have been out $400 and I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
That is correct.
So you just got to keep moving, keep going, don't stop, don't quit, just keep going, because it will get better. All of us are living proof of it.
Yeah, we are. Thank you for sharing that. And just since you did share that particular one, because I know we had the conversation about my first lead purchase. Pretty much everyone around the company knows about my first lead purchase, right? When Stephen Yee told me do anything but purchase 20 leads,
Yeah, and I did that.
and I did exactly that, and I made no money. And then I came back and did what he told me to do, which was purchase 40, and I went out and made $5,700, right?
Yeah.
So very big. I'm glad you brought that up, because as a new agent, we have to, understand that we're not going to be good, right? We're gonna suck.
Yeah, because it's a learning curve.
Because there's a learning curve. So the only way to get around that is we have to stack the deck in our favor, right? Meaning, if a veteran agent can take 20 leads and go protect families and make money, but you've been a new agent, you may need 40 or 60 because of the learning curve and the mistakes that you're going to make. So again, anyone out there, do not buy 20 leads, right? I've done it. She's done it.
Yep.
And it didn't
And
work.
one other thing too is that go to any training that you can. I still go to all the trainings I can, and the annual convention, the small conventions. I feel so fired up after every single one.
Yeah.
And I always end up producing double what I usually do right after a conference or a training of any sort, because you hear from everybody just doing it, and you're like, why can't I do that?
Right.
There's no reason I can't do that. Let me go
Right.
do it.
Right.
And then you do.
Yeah, and then plus you're able to then take the things that you just learned and then go implement them as soon as you're right back into the field, right?
Yep. And it's the next day. You
Yeah.
just go out and you do it, and then you see money 2 days later.
Yeah, that's the best part about it, right? Yeah, what they say, life is too short to get paid every 2 weeks, right?
Yep, and that's the truth.
All right, so no, thank you, Haley,
Yeah.
for sharing that. Robert, same question to you. If you could help, any new agent out there or prospective agent, out there that's looking at Family First Life, not step on any landmines that you may have stepped on in the beginning.
So
would
many
that be?
of them. So many of them. Paralysis by analysis. Don't overthink it. Don't try to outthink it. Follow the system. Follow the system. Just follow the system.
Yeah,
And jump all in.
yeah.
That's all I would say. And kind of what you were speaking on. The more money you put into your business, the more you're going to get out of it.
Correct. Because it is a business, and that's the biggest thing. I think the hardest thing for most people to grasp when you're coming from working a 9-to-5
Yeah.
to now doing your own business is grasping the fact that it is a
They
business.
don't want to invest in their business. The startup
Correct.
cost of an actual business is huge. It's a small investment here
Yeah.
for your own business, and the payoff is huge.
And the
So,
payoff is huge.
yeah, just jump all in, put everything you got in it, all your energy, all your money, follow the system, you will succeed.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for that as well, Rob. And then Art, for you, same question. What would that be? What type of landmines, that you may have stepped on that we can help other new agents or prospective agents not step on.
Outside of what you can learn from the system, it's all personal. If you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe that you can't do it, you're probably right. So what I would say is listen to your heart, listen to your soul, and let that be the one to navigate you to the promised land. I have family members, great friends, hell, my mom, that took forever to realize that this is not just an opportunity, but this is a lifestyle. This is what's going to retire you, retire my kids. So you have to put that in perspective. Just belief, man. Believe it, you can achieve it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's also right? You got to first believe it, to even be able to achieve it, and it's all about speaking it into existence as well. We learned that from LeVar Ball, right?
100%.
Speak it into existence. So, no, thank you for sharing that as well, Art, and just want to thank everyone out there, that's watching this as well, and as well as Sean, Mike, Andrew Taylor, the whole Family First Life staff, everyone as well. Just thank you for the opportunity, and